What's up, it's Daniel, and at the time of recording it is 5 weeks until Ironman UK, so I've got roughly 4 weeks training to go. This is the road to Leeds. Let's go. So I've kicked the week off with a lunchtime run. This is episode 2. If you haven't seen episode 1, it's probably not worth going back and watching, to be honest. It's pretty much the same as this. It's just me sweating a lot. But anyway, this week we are getting proper stuck in. I've got training, I've got racing, I've got all sorts, so hope you enjoy the video. So Monday is drawing to a close and I'm on a dark lane because I'm halfway home from the swimming pool and it's about 10:15 at night. I just want to talk a little bit about that. I've had a good swim, I've had a great start to the week. All of my training is on my Strava, the link is in the description down below. All my training is public to followers, so if you click follow you'll be able to see everything I do. Thank you very much for the support on there. Genuinely, a kudos goes a long way, so yeah, really enjoy that. Right, swimming tonight has been good, but I'm just reflecting on the way home about what I'm doing with this project where I'm really committing for the next few weeks to give this training all I've got. Now, I do really enjoy all this training, but I think the sad reality is, particularly for like this swim tonight, where I'm swimming 9 till 10 o'clock at night, I've got nothing else to do. Sure, I work, sure, I've got Liz, sure, and I've got pets and things, but I don't actually have any other hobbies other than YouTube than like swim, bike and run. So maybe, maybe that's an admission on my part, but this is all I've got. This is all I really enjoy. And well, do you know what? If I enjoy it and I've got plenty of free time to do it, then I'm going to get stuck in. So that's essentially what this is. Sometimes I look at my training and I think, God, what a loser. All he's doing is swim, biking and running. He's not even that good at it. But actually, I really enjoy it. Gets me out and about with friends and stuff. So I'm going to give it all I've got. Right, anyway, I'm going to go home, put the bins out. That's something else I've got to do. Bins out, and then get to bed. So it's Tuesday evening now, and this is the evening of the night where I'm doing my one and only structured interval session. In last week's episode I said that the general theme for this block is quantity over quality, but there is still quite a lot of intensity in my training. It's just not that structured. I do a lot of club riding, chain gangs, racing, etc. But I am fitting in one structured session a week. Now I'm actually on the gravel bike tonight. I know a lot of people ride gravel for the chilled vibes, man, and all those gravel buzzwords we hear. I quite like training hard on the gravel bike because it gets me off the road. I've got a couple of little training loops where I know I can do intervals at whatever power I want, and I'm not actually going that fast, so it's easy to navigate pedestrians and corners and stuff. So I'm basically riding out to my training loop that I've devised over the last few weeks, and the session is a threshold session, so it's going to be a pretty decent workout. Now, it's also, it's quite an easy one for me to remember. It's 4 times 4 minutes threshold off 4 minutes recovery, 3 times 3 minutes threshold off 3 minutes, 2 times 2 minute, 1 times 1 minute. So 29 minutes at threshold off of 29 minutes recovery. So it's not that difficult. So it's just one of those ones where I'm taking into account by how fatigued I am, but still trying to get in that work in that, zone 4 zone. So my threshold at the minute, I'm working off 320 watts. I think is a little bit higher. Coach thinks it's about right. So I'm just going to see how I get on, and if I can't do these numbers, then, well, maybe coach is right. So we will see. Session done and dusted, and in true me style I completely changed it just because this lap was flowing quite well on the 4 minute intervals. So I was doing 4 minutes on, then a 3 minute recovery, then starting at exactly the same point on each lap, so it just removes that mental stress of trying to figure out where to do the interval. Now, I never had a clean run. There's a few corners and obviously people walking dogs and so on, and that's absolutely fine. I still got the workout done. I did 7 times 4 minutes, which is 28 minutes total. So 1 minute short of planned, but didn't break it down into those shorter efforts, which I think that makes it a harder workout, doing longer blocks, shorter recovery. But either way, it felt okay, good workout. I'm dripping, good to get it done. There's no hero sessions right now. I don't need to be absolutely lifting the lid off and going flat out in any workout. Just lots and lots of good workouts back to back. Did Lionel Sanders say something like that? Some quote similar to that? I probably stole it from him. Cheers, Lionel. And then this is great for volume because I'm an hour and a half into the ride and I'm about 40 minutes away from home, so just got to ride home now. That'll be 2 and a bit hours. Good workout. And now, because I'm forever over-committing myself in all areas of life, I'm just going to record a video about the British National Gravel Time Trial Championships, which they gave me early access to the course to go and recce and to make a video about. And I've recorded the course, but I haven't made the narration video about it, and it goes out tomorrow, so I need to do it. And I'd love to do like a full-on scripted, dynamic, you know, hook you in, tell you about the course and all that, but it's just going to be a one-take wonder of me stood in front of my gravel bike because that's the phase of life I'm at right now. Right, so Wednesday lunchtime, just tapping out the second run of the week. I am feeling last night's interval session a little bit in my legs. This is the difference for me between when I ride in an evening, a couple of hours, just zone 2. The next day I don't really feel it now, so I've, you know, trained quite a bit. But whenever I do any sort of intervals, I definitely feel it. So I'm just playing it by ear. I've still got to do the run, sure, but just making sure I run nice and steady because training don't finish after one good session, does it? You got to do loads of the damn things. I also find people's opinion on run training like really interesting. Some triathletes I train with or follow do loads of run intensity in sessions and stuff. And then I think when you look at elite runners, perhaps it's because of the volume they're doing, but they're hardly doing any workouts really. It's just like lots of miles and 1 or 2 sessions a week. So sort of don't really know what the best approach is. I opt for just a lot of easy running because that's all I feel I can absorb and actually do consistently. Maybe if I was fitter or a bit less injury prone at the minute, maybe I'd do some more interval sessions, but for the time being, and definitely over the last few years, I found that does still get me fit enough to get around these long distance events. So whether I could be better if I had intervals, maybe, but who knows? Oh, I found that a bit of a slog if I'm honest, but I'll tell you what else is a bit of a slog. Running 26.2 miles after having cycled 112 and swam 2.4. So I've just got that in my mind that regardless of how bad runs feel at the minute, if I don't do them, it's going to be so much worse on race day. I just know that I've got to run as far into that marathon as I can. I know from supporting friends at long events and me doing, several Ironmans in the past, if you start walking and can't run, it's going to be a long day out, and Liz's got work the next day, so I'd rather not keep her there till midnight. But the finish will come when the finish will come. Still nursing a bit of a left hamstring niggle. It's not getting any worse, but I could definitely feel it on the way around there. So another one done. Let's get on to tonight's ride. 40 minutes into the club ride and I'm dropped. There's nothing more I want than to be fit enough just to ride with my mates. Just, no offence to them, just average club riders, just to get around a midweek club ride I'd be buzzing with. That's what I'm going to keep working towards. There's a few riders in a group further behind, so I'm just going to drop back to them and ride with them. So it's not like I'm going to be on my own, but I'd love to get around like in the first 8 or 10 guys. It makes me feel silly sometimes, in honesty. Like before the ride we're talking about what we've got coming up and I'm saying, train for Ironman UK and all this. Then we start the ride and they all drop me. They must think, what an idiot, but that's what I'm doing, so can't help it. Club ride done and dusted. I'm feeling so much fitter than I was a few weeks ago, and that's what I'm taking the positivity from. I can't help but feel that my fitness gains feel futile whilst I'm carrying the weight I'm carrying, in that I still can't ride with my mates, but I'm not going to give myself too much of a hard time about that. Thank you for the comments on last week's video. I am positive minded. I'm just realistic as to where I'm currently at. It will get better. Okay, so it is Thursday, and I normally have a rest or easy day on Thursday, but because I'm doing a race on Saturday, which I'll come back to later in this video, I've moved my easy day to Friday. So Thursday's been a pretty big day lately. I ran at lunchtime, an hour on the bike this evening, swim session tonight, good day's training. Yeah. I was going to get, not that you're second choice, but I was going to get Ash on this video to tell everybody how amazing I'm swimming. Not. But he's gone home already, so thanks Ash for the session. I wouldn't have come out if you
I couldn't hold on to your feet in the warm-up.
Leeds, swimming tonight. This Thursday night group is the core of our swim training, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's put on by Ash, who doesn't get paid very much from the leisure centre to do it at all. He puts in lots of time prepping the session. You had a good swim tonight?
Oh yeah, mega.
Ricky,
always do.
Last week I got in and we did the warm-up, and it's 400.
Yeah.
And you were on my feet and we did like 650 something, didn't we? Which was a fast 400, wasn't it? Yeah. And tonight we started off again. I pushed off and Lee was behind. I thought, right, here we go then. Went through 100 and 140, and I was trying to do the maths in my head. I was like, I'm sure that's 640.
It is, yeah.
But you just dropped away a little bit. And good, because I couldn't have held that pace anyway. But yeah, good day today.
But I did carry on to do another 650 though.
Yeah,
So
fair enough. Yeah, it's good doing it.
that'll do.
Wicked. So what was the point of recording this clip? Swimming tonight, I think it's really important to us in a group environment. It's the only time, and we come on a Monday, but this is the only time we do a proper group workout. How important is it to you in like your training week?
I think this is sort of my like VO2 max sort of session in a way. This is the time when I'm doing my fastest swimming, I suppose, and I guess like swimming with people who are a little bit better, it kind of gives me like superpowers.
Yeah.
Like I can swim quicker than I would if I was on my own.
I went in the fast lane tonight. I'm not sure if it's still the fast lane when I get in it or not, but just pushing off on somebody's feet and then within 15 metres being off the feet. I'm like, it is motivating because you think, right, I need to keep working to get closer to him. So good swim with you, mate. I really value this session because I don't know as if I'd swim meaningfully any other time. So
I think it's really hard to push yourself when you're on your own. I mean, I did a set on my own on Wednesday lunchtime and I was blowing, but I was sort of cheating a bit on the rests, and you know what it's like, don't you?
I saw your Strava title, was it? I miss boring to
I did,
so.
yeah. Oh, it's hard work with Atom, honestly.
Brilliant. Right. Okay, Lee, thank you very much. Good swimming tonight.
Yeah, nice one, mate.
See you later. Good morning, hello, it's Daniel, and this is the Dalby Grit 2025. This is a gravel race. It's 110 kilometres. It's about 5,000 feet of climbing. There's 3 laps, 1 short lap and 2 long laps. I need to remember that. About 360 something entrants in total, and it's the first year that the event's ran, so it's a bit of an unknown as to how it's going to go and how competitive it's going to be, but I'm looking forward to a good day out. I'm just going to get stuck in. So how does a gravel race fit into the prep for Ironman UK? I guess I'm asking myself that same question right now, to be honest, but to me it's just a long, hard training ride, and also you're testing race nutrition, race nerves, race day routine, all that sort of stuff. It is better that these races start at about 9 o'clock in the morning and not 6 o'clock, but I've had a real good day out today. I've had an emotional roller coaster, physical roller coaster, and that's essentially what it's going to be at Ironman Leeds, isn't it? So I started off strong, felt good, felt awful in the middle, just really struggled in the heat. I stopped at an aid station, had to tip loads of water over to try and get cool, and I thought about sacking it off. I just didn't know how to get back to the start finish, and there was about 12 miles left to go, so I just kept rolling and then ended up at the finish eventually and really faded. But it's just, I'd rather learn these lessons in races that I'm not really super focused on than on races where I'm super focused on it. Not that I didn't care about today, but you know, it's not the main aim of the year. So glad I've done it. I do just need to take into account that this is going to have had some effect on me today. The heat, the distance, 4.5 hours of riding. I think I normalised about, I don't even know, 260 watts, 270 watts, something like that. And yeah, just a tough day out, shaking on the gravel and all sorts, so it sort of beats you up. But Saturday, done and dusted, going to drive home now, try and get some better sleep tonight. My sleep's been rubbish the last few days, and then finish off the training week tomorrow with a long run. It's going to be actually long now because we are, at the time of recording, is it 4 weeks away tomorrow? Let's get this long run underway tomorrow. So Sunday morning now. Liz, you've grown a little bit, haven't you?
Yeah.
Now, today is a pretty key session for Ironman Leeds. A lot of the training that I'm doing is just general fitness, triathlon training, but today is specific. The long run, you can't avoid it when you're training for a marathon or an Ironman, can you? You've done a marathon, Liz, haven't you? Mm-hmm. You have to do it. It's a necessary, I can say evil. Some people like the long run. I actually don't mind it. So it is Sunday morning, 10 to 11. Long day out yesterday, travel, etc. We had a bit of a lie-in this morning, didn't we? Just a bit more of a leisurely start. And we're going to get out on the trails for a long run. Now, last weekend I did 1 hour and 40 with Dean and Saxby. Thanks, chaps, for the company. Today we're going to try and go a little bit longer, so I've had to rope in more support, haven't I, Liz? Mm-hmm. So, Liz, you're coming on the gravel bike. You have bottles, you have gels, you have morale. So I'll give you the full briefing now. I need all of those things like passing to me, giving to me when I need them. You need to, I'm not even going to be able to talk about it, just feel when I need something and just pass it me.
Yeah, I'm good at that.
Yeah, whilst also like you need to do the video, you need to narrate it, you need to get the B-roll, you need to story tell, capture the key moments without being too in my face. Also got to do morale, just general pep talk, and just keep my head in the game. I think that's about it. All under control. Thank you for the support, Liz, I appreciate it. I'm going to be running with a squeezy bottle with squash in, and Liz has got 2 bottles on the bike. I got quite dehydrated yesterday. I drank loads yesterday afternoon and still didn't really go to the toilet very much, so I need to stay on top of this. Gel's in the bag. Well, let's get running. Come on, let's go. So apparently I can't moan about feeling tired or anything like that because Liz went for a walk yesterday.
Hike.
Nothing but hike. Nothing but moan that her whole body feels tired. She just feels like feels a bit beat up. Is that right, Liz? How are you coping with the pace?
Well, doing my legs good actually. So did it was only 8.6 miles, but there was like 2,000 feet of climbing. Went up and down Dale. Me and Bex did a walk, Matlock, Lumsdale Falls, Matlock Bath, so it was really nice. But when you're not used to walking, it's different muscles, isn't it? And we had a big backpack on each, so yeah, my body is aching more today than if I'd done a long bike ride or anything.
So anyway, this is the road to Ironman UK, not the road to Duke of Edinburgh, so we'll stick at the task in hand. Right, we're 2.5 miles in. I'm not really paying too much attention to the pace. I'm running just over 9 minute miling, but I'm just running a conversational, easy pace. I'm sweating quite like it's hot, but it's more important to get time on feet today than it is the actual pace. As long as I'm running in a roughly thereabouts, that's fine. So the route isn't out. Then we're going to do the loop that I do my gravel training on. It's got 1 steep hill on it. I'm going to try and do 3 laps, and then run back. So that'll be 14 to 15 miles ish if that goes to plan. So let's see.
Like that.
What is cool to see is these trails are so busy. People walking, cycling, running,
Horse
riding. Yeah, they're so busy, aren't they? It's really good to see them used. How are you coping trying to video giving me a gel? What are you
I think I've smashed that really well.
What are you going to do if I don't use this clip now?
Not come out with you again. Suck it.
Got for a Sturker 50 mixed berry. Just because big serving of carbs, I like the berry flavour. The ones I've got later on are OTE 40s, so if I don't feel very good or can't get them down as easy, at least I've got a bigger one in early. So the key for me with this is making sure I get like a good amount of gel on the packet, so when I give it back to Liz, she gets sticky hands. Yeah. There you go.
Right,
Thank you.
I'll just stop the video to put it away, so I've got a bug bite of my arm as well. Whoa!
Whoa.
Drunk cycling.
So 4.5 miles in, just come out to the loop now. I'm trying to break it down mentally in my head. Out, 3 laps, back. So let's just deal with the 3 laps now, and I'll worry about running back after that.
Good plan. So each lap is around 2 miles. I think it's just over 2.
There's a big massive hill in it as well.
Oh, there's a big massive hill that I've got to pedal up.
This loop I think is perfect training for me for this event. It's up and down and there's one big hill. So I'm absolutely on my knees up the hill, but then you've got some downhills where you're like getting that impact on your quads, like almost falling onto your feet. And that's what gets me on hilly events, the fatigue of running downhill. So I think this is good. This is good prep. Oh, thank God there's only one more.
Thank God.
Last time, go for that.
Well done. Okay, so we're 10.5 miles in. How are you feeling, Daniel?
Nearly as tired as you are, Liz, to be honest.
I'm alright, I've woke up.
Have you? I'm hanging on in there, so yeah, an hour and 37 in. It's just getting to the point where, when you do anything for this long, it starts aching, doesn't it? So just trying to keep those demons away. We're on the way home now. So, the short way back is the way we're going. So using that as motivation and just taking it off. I'm absolutely red hot. Heat is something I've really struggled with this week, and particularly on yesterday's gravel race. So it's in my mind, I'm struggling in the heat, so
You always
that's not
struggle,
helping.
not just this week.
Yeah, I'm debating taking my top off, to be honest, but I don't know if it's better to have a wet layer on you or no layer, but who knows. Anyway, 4 or 5 miles to go. I don't know how far it's back this way.
Do you want your last gel?
Yes, please.
Let's do that now then, shall we?
Here she is. Thought I dropped her. Thank you, darling. So do you swap? Are you okay, you? Hydrated, are you fueled?
Well, I've saved myself a swag, that's why I didn't really fill your bottle.
Oh,
So I've got a little.
okay. I've just gone through half marathon in 2 hours and a few seconds. My legs are screaming. It's just reiterated to me now the enormity of the challenge we have ahead of us in 4 weeks. It's literally double this run, Liz, with a long bike ride before it. But you know, you got to break it while I'm trying to just break it down mentally. If I can get 13, 14, 15 miles in today, it's going to make it easier when we get to that day. So Rome wasn't built in a day, was it? Got about a mile and a half-ish left. My legs are screaming, but let's just get it done. Okay.
Well done.
Well, thanks, Liz. I'll leave the stats on screen, but at the time of recording, I don't quite know where I'm going to get another 11 miles from. But there's still time, I hope. Oh, 1.5 litres of fluid I've been through, and I could have done more.
Just shows you this heat.
Yeah. So it's the end of episode 2 of the Road to Ironman UK Leeds. I hope you're enjoying this little mini-series. I'm certainly enjoying putting it together. I'm just having a quick look through my training week, so I'm going to share my thoughts about the week on this video. I'll keep it pretty brief. Not all of my training is on this video. A lot of it is, but not all of it. If you hit my Strava link in the description down below, or just click it, you don't need to hit it. Click follow, then you'll be able to see all my training on there. Thank you very much for the support. Kudos goes a long way, and I hope your training is going well. Now, I was initially a little bit disappointed with this week. I never like to do less than the week before because it just feels like you're not trying as hard. So last week I did 21 hours and 39 minutes of training. This week I've done 19 hours and 37 minutes of training. So 2 hours less than last week. And I had planned to go out on the bike this afternoon for no other reason other than to do the same volume as I did last week. However, what has happened is I have been in bed all afternoon. I have had a blinding headache, lots of paracetamol and ibuprofen, lots of fluids. I've just about shifted it now, but it's just reiterating to me that I'm suffering in the heat. Some of you might be able to empathise. Being a bigger guy, like I sweat so much when I exercise. I'm hot in general when other people aren't hot. It's just one of those things. I actually have a condition called hyperhidrosis where I do sweat more than the average person, and of course in exercise that presents itself in me losing more fluids. Now, I've never done the science of, oh, I lose this many litres an hour. So I think it just fluctuates so much it's almost not worth testing, but I know that I sweat a lot. So I've just got to be a bit more sensible, I think, this week ahead. If I am to do more training in hot weather, I need to be planning extra fluids, and I need to be perhaps not planning to do as much. Anyway, so this week, what am I happy with, what am I not happy with? Well, I was going to go out on the bike this afternoon, but obviously that hasn't happened. So 19 hours, 37 minutes of training, TSS 1,117, work, so kilojoules, so energy expended, is actually the same as last week, and the TSS is actually higher. Now, they're skewed by two things, one of which I think is the long run today, and one of which is the gravel race yesterday. But, you know, on the whole, I'm really happy with this week. 2 swims, and that was really good. I swam a bit more than 2K on Monday, and the Thursday night session I did 2.5K, so just creeping that up. I'm going to try and creep those up this week. Again, I'm only going to be swimming twice, but I'm just going to try and get in before the club session on Thursday and do 500 metres or a K, and then Monday night try and do 2.5K in the hour, something like that. Cycling, 13 hours and 41 minutes, which I feel a bit, I'm liking doing like 15 hours plus, but in the heat this week and with doing an event yesterday, I'm got to be happy with that. And then running, 4 hours and 38 minutes of running. Now, I need to respect that because that will have had an impact on me today, that long run, and I need to think about that as I'm training this week. But I've only got a handful of weeks left, right? So, what can you do? Really happy with that. Touch wood. No illnesses, no crashes, no real bad late days at work where I've not been able to train in the evening or anything like that. So I've got to take it. I'm really happy with it. I'm still on this trajectory of, I'm going to be where I want to be at some point in the future, and these events are just going to be dotted in and amongst that. I'm not going to be as fit as I want to be at an event, but I'm not sure you ever get to an event as fit as you can be. Looking ahead to next week, definitely got some challenges. I'm in our London office on Tuesday, so I'm going to be potentially not training at all that day. I am at Holcombe next weekend, which which is the gravel sprint, the Outlaw event, and the Outlaw half on the Sunday. So travel down Friday night. So, you know, some missed training due to travel. Obviously, got to respect the racing as well. Like, I don't want to be absolutely on my knees at those races. But it's just another week of having first world problems, isn't it? So I'm absolutely buzzing to be training, buzzing to be feeling fitter. Hope your training is going well. Hope you are looking forward to Ironman Leeds if you're doing it. If not, I'm going to take you along for the ride. Thank you so much for the support and the comments and the likes and the messages. Honestly, it blows me away all the time that people are interested in my little journey. I love sharing it, and I'm hoping to do some more cool stuff later this year. So thank you very much for the support. I'll see you same time next week for episode 3 of the Road to Ironman UK.